Mr. Speaker, I want to bring the attention of the House in this item 281, Light Rail, Kano Ogun, Lagos. Mr. Speaker, I'm from a zone, and none of the southeast and other zones are captured in this particular place. And this is a national budget. We have to look at it critically. It's not for a particular state, Mr. Speaker. The southeast need to be included. That is my point of order, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable. Your observation. I am sure in the course of the year there might be...
Mr. Speaker, no other time. It is now. Let us do it now. Mr. Speaker, observation.
They are already ongoing now.
Yours is noted, Honorable, and will bring it to the attention of Mr. President.
Order.
In the near future, we'll ensure that that balancing is done. Okay? Please, let's make progress.
Order, please.
Border communities infrastructure carried. Military barracks accommodation carried. We'll bring this to the attention of Mr. President. Likely there may be another supplementary within the year. If that kind of opportunity unfolds, we will make sure that this request is channeled.
And equally to lend my voice, Mr. Speaker, the exclusion of the Southeast in the rail and roads from that infrastructure, Mr. Speaker, is one about fairness and one with historical implications for unity and development of Nigeria. Mr. Speaker, I'm taking you by your words that maybe by the supplementary budget, the Southeast will be fully captured in the roads and rail infrastructures.
Yeah.
And any other zone that is excluded, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you.
Good morning, and thank you for coming live on this platform. We are looking at the man of the moment, the African man of the moment, talking about Ibrahim Traore. What is actually driving the spirit of that young man in Africa?
Of course, we understand that that man has become someone to be reckoned with in Africa, and from all we can understand, the man did not start until he got what looked like a tutorship from the man Nnamdi Kanu himself. Because at the time Nnamdi Kanu was in the trenches shouting how Africa could be liberated, how Africa had been marginalized, of course, how the West plundered the wealth and natural resources of Africa. Ibrahim Traore, nobody knew that he was somewhere listening. But by the time he caught the fire, of course, he has taken over. He has now become a man of the moment globally. But I think thanks to the man Nnamdi Kanu who gave him that courage, who actually spoke in the manner that he listened to. But we understand that the same travail, the same difficulty, the Burkina Faso is facing in the hands of those who were oppressing them. In the same train, African people, Igbo people are facing Nigeria. And if you look at what is happening in Nigeria, Nigeria own is even more than what Burkina Faso is facing. You have a situation where within the same sovereignty, I'm talking about Nigeria, you have a people that have been so suppressed, that have been so marginalized, and up front, anywhere you look at, you take your attention to what you see is marginalization. We saw recently how some person from the southeastern part of the country will rise in the House of Rep to demand a fair share of what's supposed to belong to them. Talking about light rail. And at the point, the speaker was telling them that they should wait for supplementary budget. You begin to wonder if Nigeria is truly a sovereign state, if Nigeria too runs on the very constitution that binds everybody together, and we have that character. You are doing such a project that's supposed to cut across all the zones. You are deliberately excluded to a political zone. So for me, that is the height of marginalization. We cannot forget the hurry where Buhari, as the president of Nigeria, never gave a service chief to the southeastern part of the country. Talking about position that has to do with the maybe IG of police, chief of army staff, chief of naval staff, national security advisor, director of DSS. It's about 17 positions. And you have 3 major regions. None of them went to the southern part of the country. Even currently, the only position that may be with them is the chief of naval staff. Talking about Ogala, who of course we understand is from Enugu also. So anywhere you look, anywhere you take your attention to, what you see is marginalization. And someone like Gowon is not coming out to say, I am sorry for all this injustice, because of course he's not that initiated it. From the beginning, he made it very clear that to keep Nigeria one is a task that must be done. They have kept Nigeria one, and he has not been able to solve the problem. Even after telling the whole world that there was no vanquish, there was no victory, no vanquish. Even after making it very clear that there was going to be reconciliation, integration, and reconstruction. As we speak, none of those things were given attention to. Look at all the effort it took people from the region to ensure that the federal government come on with Southeast Development Commission. Even after the Southeast Development Commission, how much have been voted into that commission? What have they achieved? Of course, I cannot see any meaningful thing that commission have achieved. So the same level of underdevelopment and neglect in that region still persists. Okay. And again, wait, I'm coming. The worrisome part of it is that the politicians from that region, the political class, they seem to be afraid. I don't know. They don't often speak up. They don't often challenge the authority. It doesn't take any. It's not a crime to speak up. It's not a crime to demand what rightly belongs to you. But unfortunately, they seldom speak.
Yes, we saw 250 billion mapped out for Southeast Development Commission, and we saw close to 800 billion mapped out for Southwest. The trend continues. But let us look at the man of the moment, talking about Traore. About 10 countries has indicated, the presidents of Africa have indicated their support for Traore. And it happens to be the only one, Russia, Vladimir Putin has invited to grace Russia Day of Military Parade, including Dr. Ngozi Urabeze. What is going on?
I think what is going on is because the world, or rather those who are positive in their thinking, those who want good governance, those who hate oppression, have seen that the man Ibrahim Traore is mean well for his people. We are not a country that has still been marginalized and still been neglected in terms of infrastructural development, and we have been seeing serious exploitation of their natural resources. So it's going to show that their masters were not interested in the development of the place. All they were interested in how do we plunder the place in terms of making away with their natural resources. I think the same thing happens to Niger, where of course the same master was, or rather have been exploiting their natural resources. So kudos to the likes of Russia that have come to their aid. Of course, I think that will make the people who want to have their resources to at least have a retreat, because seeing that Russia is a major player in the global community, seeing that Russia is a big fish, of course, hence Russia have indicated their interest to back them. And good thing about Russia alliance with Burkina Faso is that it is not for the purpose of exploiting the people, just like the people who were there for just their personal interest. Look at how many years their masters have been there. What can Burkina Faso show for it in terms of human capital development, in terms of infrastructural development, in terms of wealth creation? It's going to show that all their intention is to exploit the people. So good thing, someone like Ibrahim Traore is not there, and of course, with the short time he has been there, he has been able to prove that he means well for the people. I must tell you that.
Well, look at, like Dutch said, tutored by Nnamdi Kanu, friends with Simon Ekpa. At the meeting at Russia, as it's supposed to be, what is it going to be? It seems like, there's this interest about massive support by the Sahel nation, and of course with Russia's presence in Africa. Do you think that Russia can wake up one day and recognize Simon Ekpa, then recognize Biafra as a sovereign nation?
Don't forget that as we speak, the Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger already pull out of ECOWAS. They already have Sahel alliance. So it's more likely that anytime soon they are going to form alliance with Biafra, and that is very correct, because the way it is, if you look at what the world, particularly this part of the world, have done to Biafrans, you know that actually they need attention of such to, of course, liberate themselves. And good thing, the angle someone like Nnamdi Kanu is coming from, nobody can question whether he's right or wrong. Talking about self-determination, Nigeria have shot themselves in the foot by making self-determination a law in Nigeria. Though it's a UN chapter, hence it has been ratified in Nigeria, it's already a law in Nigerian legal system. So to that extent, If someone, a country like France, is coming to the aid of Biafra, what they can simply do is come up with a draft, go to UN. Of course, just like America, they have power of veto. Take the draft to UN, allow UN do their voting. If UN do not vote in their favor and they feel it is the right thing to do, they can veto it and enforce it. And when it comes to that level, I think the Nigerian government will want to negotiate, or rather than to go offensive, because they know that war power is already stepped in.
Okay, on that note, why is the North Korea president Kim, if I can get his name correctly, has just written showing that he is ready to deploy military armament and personnel to Burkina Faso in support of Traore. You know, and anybody that wants to challenge you is already challenging North Korea. What is actually attracting, you know, some powerful nations in the world in Traore and Burkina Faso?
I think they are friends of anti-marginalization. What they stand for is against marginalization. And what Ibrahim Traore is doing, I think he's a smart guy. He's playing a smart one, because we have seen that standing alone is inimical to his personality, to his country, and to his government. So the best way to address the imminent challenge his government is facing in the face of threat to eliminate him is to reach out to those who, of course, are at the top when it comes to global power. Because once you talk of Russia, of course, you are talking of a major power player in the world. We have seen what North Korea have been able to do in recent time, breaking away from every known ally and standing alone. And of course, they continue to soar. So I think what he's doing is trying to play a smart one, and he's winning the game. Because even in his own home country, you can clearly see the massive support he's getting. Because he has been able to pass the message that yes, we have long been marginalized and have come to recover whatever glory we have lost. And they can see clear terms, roads being constructed, skills being acquired, human capital being developed. Almost every human front, almost every human endeavor is giving attention, and they are getting results. Of course, in such a situation, the people cannot help but creep behind him. But what Ibrahim Traore walk along the road, you see the massive support. You see the massive support everywhere. Everyone wants to identify with him, and the reason is simple: they are seeing results.
Okay, looking at Nnamdi Kanu, let's say final day trial or whatever, cross-examination or whatever with the DSS and whatever, you know, what kind of global attention currently now is Biafra getting with the kind of trial that we are seeing, considering the fact that a current chief judge in Ghana was at Abuja yesterday in solidarity to Nnamdi Kanu? What's your reaction to that?
Nnamdi Kanu is an epitome of self-examination. Nnamdi Kanu is a global citizen. Nnamdi Kanu is a world diplomat. Someone who already attracted the attention of UN. That UN working group on arbitrary detention spoke to Nigeria directly regarding Nnamdi Kanu, that they should release the man. We have seen Russian Foreign Affairs Minister advising the world and the UN, European Union, that going forward, you must start respecting self-determination. And once you talk about self-determination globally, what comes to mind is Nnamdi Kanu and Biafra.